Zappa project? Where are we? We're there. Marvellous. Sometimes some bands or some acts in the festival, they give the mentors charts, they give the mentors music so we can follow things, and some of the bands did today. The Zappa project passed up to us a pretty extensive and detailed folder of shed loads of notes. You may not have been as aware of it, of just how complex some of the things that those guys on the tune percussion on the front line and the whole ensemble playing. I mean, there were some phenomenally complicated rhythmic things going on, which throughout both tunes were played almost flawlessly throughout. It was a powerhouse performance. I mean, the individual skill to be able to get around what it is that you're playing is one thing, but when you've got whatever, 8, 7 of you in the band or whatever it is, and you're playing in 21/16, so 21 semi-quavers in one bar, which is slightly strange, and then going to 11/16 in the next bar, and then going back to the previous one, and having 3 bars of 11, and then going into 4/4. It's like, you know, that takes some serious practice and organisation and musical skill to be able to do. And I think throughout, all three of us, you know, we sort of looked through the score to start off with, and then after a while just thought, I don't think we really need to follow this anymore. It's not that we couldn't follow it, it was more that we were simply just kind of like, yeah, they're playing it, it sounds great, so let's just kind of listen to what's going on. I mean, any time you ever see a tune percussionist break their stick midway through the first track after about a minute and a half because he's clicking so hard, you know, I think you're in for a good gig. I think that, you know, throughout basically both tracks, I mean, the segue from the first track to the second one, really, really smooth, really lovely, and you know, Frank Zappa is nothing if not schizophrenic. I mean, that's kind of his whole thing, isn't it? You know, he's a rock guitar player, he writes classical compositions, he's a fusion player, you know, all of these things come into his canon, and I thought the 2 tracks that you chose, especially the first one where you have suddenly, you've got like a little rock and roll doo-wop kind of bit, and then you've got this theme and that thing coming back. I thought, you know, the band handled the sort of characters and the schizophrenic elements really, really well. Great solid playing from the kit, which then kind of transferred forward throughout. It really, really was quite spectacular and thoroughly enjoyable. I'm a semi-Zappa fan, but after hearing you guys before, I'm going to go and check those 2 tunes out, and I'm going to go and listen and look forward to hopefully hearing you and seeing you play more. One thing, possibly now, is I think you should be even more theatrical in the way that you look, in the way that maybe you behave on stage, everything like that, because the music has got this really sort of, I don't know, characterful, playful, but at the same time complex, but sort of interesting sort of vibe about it, and I think the spectacle and the theatre is what you need to kind of add into it, because you've got the chops, you can all play what it is, and brilliantly. So just add in a bit of theatre, bucket loads of dry ice, maybe a unicorn, all that kind of that, and I think the Birmingham Town Hall would be absolutely packed to the rafters, season in, season out. It was a great gig. Will your drummer come forward? Thank you very much. Round of applause.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about door-to-door